This is Pakistan today, a frontline state in the so-called war on terror. But Pakistan is accused by its own allies of failing to fight militancy within its own borders. In this two-part series, I will travel to the tribal areas along the border with Afghanistan. It's home to Pakistan's Taliban militants, and many believe it's also the hiding place of Osama bin Laden. This is where Pakistan's desperate struggle with the militants has turned the country into a war zone. In a journey through the tribal areas, I will witness the realities of Pakistan's role in the global war on terror and the cost of that war to this country. Islamabad, Pakistan's political center and capital city. My journey starts here because it was here that I witnessed events that were to mark a turning point in Pakistan's fight with the Taliban. In the summer of 2007, I came to the Red Mosque here in the very heart of the Pakistani capital to speak to its religious leader, Abdul Ghazi, and the hundreds of militant female students that he led in the madrasa right next door. Under his guidance, hundreds of the girls had taken to the streets to take direct action against anything from popular video shops to prostitution. When I met Ghazi, I asked him what he was trying to achieve by challenging the authorities.
We are saying that we are against the system and we want a peaceful change in the country. But if they try to suppress us, it can become violent, and then we cannot guarantee that whosoever have the power, it can be Taliban, it can be whatever you name them, they will come.
The head of the girls' school, Umar Hassan, believed quite simply that the will of God was on their side.
The main thing is, what does God want from us? We do this to please our God, but the government hasn't fulfilled its duty. And when it doesn't, according to the Prophet, the responsibility should fall on religious leaders, and that is when they should take over.
They had challenged the writ of the Pakistani government and its very legitimacy in a way that people hadn't seen for years. But what I wasn't prepared for was that within days of speaking to them, the Red Mosque and the religious seminary that was here in this now barren and open ground would be turned into a war zone. Hello, Ghazi, it's Raghi. I'm okay, Ghazi. How are you? What's happening inside? I was never to see Maulana Ghazi again. In response to the assault on the Red Mosque, the Al-Qaeda website called for revenge in Pakistan.
وإننا في تنظيم القاعدة نشهد الله تعالى بأننا سنثأر لدماء مولانا عبد الرشيد غازي ومن معه من برويز ومن أعانه ولجميع الدماء الطاهرة الزكية.
Umar Hassan, the head of the girls' school, is still in Islamabad today and awaiting trial. And she's still teaching in a rented house a few streets away from the Red Mosque. Only she could tell me what happened when the army attacked.
In front of me, the girls started to fall as the army started firing and throwing gas. We did not think that this would happen and that our army would come and kill us.
But the young male students were fighting back.
What fighting? We didn't have anything to fight with. We had 14 Kalashnikovs. Nothing else, except they were chanting slogans. They were our students and sympathizers from surrounding areas who came to help.
Many students chose to leave the school. With them was Umar Hassan's husband, Maulana Abdul Aziz. She claims the army suggested he leave dressed as a woman. He did, only to be ridiculed on national television.
Maulana Aziz went out to negotiate and was arrested. It was then that I realized that we would not survive, and I decided that I would not leave the madrasa, but stay with the girls and become a martyr.
Umar Hassan, how did you manage to get out eventually from the siege?
Suddenly, we heard intensive firing from very near. Then, right in front of me, bullets hit my mother-in-law. And Ghazi Saab then shot the soldier and said to me, "As your Amir and commander, please leave." Then Hassan, my son, begged me, "Please, Mom, leave. We're going to be martyred, and at least you should be saved." As I left, I called out to my son saying, "Be brave and die with a bullet in your chest, not your back, so that I am not ashamed in front of the Prophet."